So how do you launch a website? You build a website. We usually build websites on a subdomain, and then you want to launch the website on the actual for the actual client on the hosting inside Plesk. What's the process for that? How do you deploy the website? How do you move it from the temporary place where you have built it, in our case it's a subdomain, to the domain? There's several steps to do that. In our company, the way that we go through the whole process is we go to the GoDaddy or whatever company that we need to. Then we modify the DNS records. We point them to Cloudflare. In this case, we're pointing this website over to Cloudflare. Inside Cloudflare, we will be adding 3A records that will point the domain to our server. And then we're going to also go to Mailgun, and we will connect the Mailgun, connected to Mailgun. So we'll add a domain to Mailgun, and then we will be adding the two DNS records, the SMTP and this verification code, as well as the SPF record. SPF is really important for email deliverability. So that gets added as well. So that's the kind of 5 records are needed for this to happen. So once this has been established, we will now have a domain that's pointed to our hosting. Inside our hosting account, we will be creating an account for our customer. And once we have created an account for the customer, we will be creating a subscription. So add a new subscription by going to left-hand side, subscriptions, add new subscription, and we're going to be creating a WordPress website, and then we will deploy it under this domain name that's now pointed to our server. We're going to click on add subscription. It's going to actually build hosting space right now, configure PHP DNS. I mean, there's a whole bunch of different things that it does right now, and it's going to tell me that it is not secure, and we will work on SSL certification next. We don't really care what we use in terms of the username and password. We're going to change that anyways once we unpack the website. So the second step here is that the Plesk installs the WordPress into the hosting, and it has been installed. So now we have hosting space, we have WordPress. See how fast that goes? It's really cool. Now we're going to go to the dashboard, and no, we're going to go to Cloudflare. Under SSL TLS overview, we're going to click on configure, and then we're going to click full strict save. Alright, so technically this should be enough for Cloudflare to handle SSL certification. Let's check it out. Now, SSL certification with Cloudflare takes a little bit of time to actually work, so might not be instantaneous change, but let's see if we're lucky. Yeah. So this one, let's change it back to Flex. Okay, Flex is the way you want to go. Flex. Sorry, my bad. So Flex is the default version. Sometimes it doesn't kick in automatically, so I do get confused a little bit with Flex versus the strict version. Alright, so now we have SSL certification. We don't even actually need to bother with Plesk's SSL certificate with Let's Encrypt, because we already have one from Cloudflare. Alright, great. So now that we have WordPress, we're actually going to need to install the website that we have developed into here. What we'll do is we'll log in by pressing login button. It will automatically log us into the WordPress, and then we're also going to go to to the deployment space where we built the website, which should be somewhere. There we go. Here it is. I'm going to log in. All-in-one migration. Export to file. So this will export the website that we've built through all-in-one migration. Notice how we're exporting from the development space. Now we're going to go back here. We're going to go to plugins, and we're going to need to add a few plugins. Upload plugin, choose file. Then we have a really nifty little development space that has this plugin that allows us to have ability to upload any size of the WordPress backup. So we need to install all-in-one. And just search for all, install now, installed, activate. Now it's going to fail to import anything here because we need to check for updates. We need to update it now. Now it's updated. We can go in here and we can import it from the file that we should have here. So it's 133 megabytes, which is normal size for WordPress. If it's like a 1 gigabyte, you have a problem, make sure you reach out to a developer to figure out why your website is so big. If you need web development assistance, check us out at webacre.com. We offer web development services, graphic design, anything graphic design, website development related. That's what we offer. Our phone number, our email, check us out. Feel free to reach out to us. Alright, so it's going to overwrite everything. We'll go and proceed with that. Import is successful. I'm going to finish it. Alright, so the import has been done. I'm going to click on any button. It's going to log me out. That's it. Log me out. It's also erased my username, password, and everything. Now if I refresh the page, you'll see that, ooh, what happened here? You know what? I know what happened here. We installed the incorrect. Yep, I've installed the incorrect backup. That happens. I'm going to repeat the process and I will upload the correct backup. For that, we will need to change a few things. So if that happens to you, I'm going to go back to Plesk. I'm going to go to subscriptions. I'm going to go to our domain name. We're going to go to setup. We're going to generate a new password. We're going to change it. We're going to log in again. I'm going to go to all-in-one migration. We're going to go to import and import from file. See, I've imported from our deployment folder. We need to go to downloads and we need to import the website that we actually built. Alright, that was fairly quick. Checking for compatibility, proceed. Alright. It's going to restore the files, delete the old files, and basically rewrite the whole thing. Import is successfully, got it finished. Okay, I'm going to click on dashboard, it's going to log me out. I'm going to go back here and then I'm going to refresh it, and voila! Now I have a new website here. Awesome! By the way, check out Sergey Martinyuk, really awesome singer. He has really cool videos here. Now that the website has been deployed, what else do we need? We need to go and change permalinks. Say we get 404 error here. So we're going to go to the Plesk again, going to reload it. Okay, I'm going to go to setup, going to change the password again, generate, change. I don't even care what the password is at this point. I'm going to click login. Once we're logged in into the website, I'm going to have to go to settings, permalinks, and just click save changes. Now if we're going to go to the website gallery, it will start to work. Yay. Alright, so the next item that we need to do is to configure a mailgun connection. We already configured the mailgun to the domain. Now we need to configure the mailgun to the website. We're going to go over here at the very top, and we're going to click on API security, generate a key, description. I like to generate a good bit of API keys, one for like each website, so that if something goes haywire, we know which one is bad and it doesn't compromise the rest of the websites. Generate key. I'm going to make sure that I'm not showing this key to YouTube. Yeah. Let's go back to our website. Make sure you're working with the right one. This is the development space that we worked in. I'm going to close this up. Sergey Martinyuk, that's the one that we're working with. This one can be closed. Permalinks, Sergey Martinyuk. Yep. So we can work in here. We're going to go to WordPress mail SMTP. This is where the connection is being configured. We don't really need this from email. It doesn't matter what email is here. We will not use the force email. This will be off. And we're going to be using mailgun connection, mailgun API key. We'll paste it here. And then for the domain name, just copy the domain name, paste it here, save settings. And then we will go and test it. Tools, and let's send a message to myself, peter@webeka.com. Send email. By the way, if you need website development, feel free to email me. And here we go. We have just received a test email, and it has arrived. Awesome. So what I like to do usually is to send a message to the client, so the client knows that the messages are being delivered and that we have configured it. What else is important? That's pretty much it when it comes to deployment of the website. It's really important to keep everything up to date and properly updated in the proper way. What I'm doing right now is not the proper way of updating things. We need to make sure that, see, this one failed in update, unauthorized. We need to activate this plugin. You always need to make sure that you are backing up your website before going through updates, and that you have at least 2 methods of backup. If one fails, then you have another way to restore your website. Okay, so yeah, that concludes our video. Make sure that you have proper maintenance plan if you want to check out some of the maintenance plans that we offer. Check it out. A small website like this does not really require $150 package. We can do a maintenance like once every other month. That will reduce the bill in half. But a larger website certainly does need a bit more care and attention. If you are interested in anything related to web development, feel free to reach out to us, and that would be it. We will need to actually remove the testimonials for now, because they're being delivered from a different channel. But that's pretty much it. That's a new website that we have just developed, and yeah, we need to configure the CAPTCHA. That's something else that I'll work on right now. But overall, it is pretty much done. There's actually a separate video on our channel how to configure the CAPTCHA. You'll probably see it pop up in their like right hand side corner somewhere. I'm going to be using Cloudflare for the CAPTCHA. Works really well. Alright, we'll see you in the next video.